Hi there, this is Dhiru Munduluru. Before moving on, let's now spend some time understanding how Java came into existence. Compared to languages like C and C++, Java has some unique features. And there's a certain motivation behind creating Java with those features. So understanding the motivation will help us better appreciate the features that Java offers. So let's go ahead and learn the story behind Java's creation. You must have heard of Sun Microsystems, which was a well-known Silicon Valley based company which got acquired by Oracle in 2010. In 1991, having been in business for almost a decade selling Unix-based computers, Sun wanted to see what the next wave in computing was. So they assembled a small team to brainstorm on this, and they named the team as the Green Team. The Green Team's initial conclusion was that a network of heterogeneous consumer devices communicating with each other could be one significant trend. And these devices are small, they are reliable, distributed, real-time embedded systems. And based on this initial conclusion, they decided to build a prototype as part of a new project called the Green Project. So it is the Green Team working on the Green Project. The vision for this project was to build an interactive wireless handheld device which would communicate with home entertainment devices like TV and VCR, as we see here in this illustration. And the software that the Green Team develops would be installed on all of these devices. And the technology was expected to help in doing stuff like playing a certain TV channel or recording a particular favorite program, which is common these days but not in early 90s. In fact, you can see that there's a VCR in this illustration as there were no DVDs back in early 90s. However, realizing this vision was pretty challenging as it had some unique goals, and let's see what those goals are. First goal is that the software should consume less memory as the target consumer devices are embedded devices which have limited resources like memory. Next, the technology should allow these devices to communicate with each other and also pass around any software programs. And this leads to the third and one of the most important goals, which is platform independence. So when these software programs are delivered from one device to another, they should run on the target device without any issues. That is, the hardware and operating system of the target device should not cause any issues. And that's basically platform independence. Similarly, when software programs are delivered to the target devices, they should not cause any harm to those devices. So security is critical. Finally, the software should support multithreading so that the devices can perform multiple activities at the same time. For instance, if a program is being downloaded from another consumer device, then the current device might want to perform some other activity while the program is being downloaded. Initially, C++ was considered for this project, but it was rejected as it did not meet some of the project goals which we just discussed, and platform independence was one of them. So the team decided to create a brand new technology. Then one of the team members, James Gosling, created an entirely new language and named it as Oak, after the tree outside his office. Oak was later renamed to Java due to trademark issues. So Gosling is regarded as the father of Java. Soon the Green Team came up with a working demo, and the interactive handheld device was called as Star 7. And it's interesting to note that this was way back in 92, and Star 7 already had a touch screen with features similar to today's smartphones. Just Google for Gosling Star 7 and you should be able to find an old video of James Gosling demonstrating Star 7. It is definitely worth watching. Sun targeted the cable TV industry to sell this product, but the technology was far too advanced for them and hence the project did not meet success. But Sun soon realized that the newly popular World Wide Web was exactly identical to the Green Project. That is a network of heterogeneous systems communicating with each other as shown in this illustration. As you can see, we have Windows clients talking to Linux servers and similarly Linux clients talking to Windows servers. Before Java came into existence, Internet involved moving around only static HTML content, and Sun believed that by integrating Java, they can make web pages more interactive. So Sun developed a browser called Hot Java, and they showcased it at the Sun World Conference in 1995. And the browser allowed Java programs called applets to be embedded in HTML pages. And this would allow web applications to be interactive. But for this to work, the client's browser should install Java. And the way it would work is that an HTML page would include HTML tags corresponding to applets. And the applets would actually reside on some remote server. And when browser processes a HTML page, and when it encounters these applet related tags, it would then download the corresponding applets from the remote server and then execute them as it already has Java installed. Now, like HTML content, same applet can run on heterogeneous client platforms. That is, platform independence capability of HTML pages is still supported. That is, the applet might be on a Linux server and the client's browser might be on a Windows machine. But the downloaded applet from the Linux server would execute without any issues within the client's browser on the Windows machine. At the same conference, Netscape also announced that their popular Netscape Navigator browser would include Java support. And with that, the entire tech industry was very excited about the Java technology, as this integration could be very big for the future of Internet. And soon, the first version of Java was released in January of 1996. So that's a brief history of Java. Always keep in mind that Java was mainly designed to work in a networked environment consisting of heterogeneous consumer devices. The environment had some unique goals, and that led to the development of Java. Though it could not be adopted in the cable TV industry, it eventually found its success with the World Wide Web. And especially, it soon evolved as a popular language for developing large-scale web applications, standalone desktop applications, and mobile applications. Thank you.